All right, so at this point you should be back at your seat or sitting on the floor up towards the whiteboard so that you can go over the answers and check your work. So I would recommend maybe you should take a screenshot or like pause the video to take a look at the answers, and everybody should take a minute to check. So you've got A, which is 4, B is 4, E 240, F 12,320, I is 42, and J is 15,840. Keep in mind when I'm doing these problems, I do often make a little mistake, so if anybody notices an error, then you guys can talk about it. So pause the video, discuss. If you have a question about a problem, raise your hand, look at the work, so hopefully that will help you figure it out. Then go ahead and press play when you're ready to take a look at letter L below. All right, now that we're looking at letter L, it says Galena ran for 4 miles plus 30 more feet. How many feet did Galena run? So first, we notice that we've got miles and feet. So I would convert the miles into feet. And if you look up at the top here, we know that 1 mile is 5,280 feet. So we're going to take 4 miles times 5,280 feet, which gives us 22,120 feet. Then she ran another 30 feet, so we add those together, giving us 22,150 feet. Then go ahead and turn to the next page. If you have any questions on that front page, make sure to pause the video and discuss. All right, so yesterday, block 1, we did letter B together. I came up with another way that I'll talk about in just a minute, but go ahead and pause the video and check each of your answers along here. This is just one that I did that was extra. It wasn't highlighted. So when you're ready for everybody to move forward, then go ahead and press play again. All right, so up here, there are different strategies, but what I did, since we were multiplying by 3, I took my whole number, my 4 yards, and I multiplied that by 3, which gave me 12 feet. Then I took 2/3 of a yard and I multiplied that by 3 feet, which gave me that 6/3, which is equal to 2 feet. And then I added those together, giving me the 14 feet. So yesterday, block 1, we turned this into a mixed number, which absolutely works. But then we ended up with that 54 divided by 3. So again, my work is shown if you have any questions or missed something. And make sure that you're writing in what you did for each problem. All right, then go ahead, letter M. So Cassie bought 12 yards of fabric for a project and then realized that she needed 2 more feet. How many total feet of fabric did Cassie need? So she bought 12 yards and she needs 2 more feet. So we can see that we have 2 different units of measurement, and we're asking for the answer in feet, which means I need to convert 12 yards to feet. Well, we know that there are 3 feet in a yard, so each yard is 3 feet, so we're going to do this 12 times 3, which is 36. She needs 2 more feet. We add them together, so the total number of feet she needed was 38. If you have a question, then pause the video and discuss. All right, letter N. Jamal's jumping record was 3.5 feet. Today he jumped 9 inches higher than his record. How many inches did Jamal jump today? So we have how many feet he jumped. He jumped 9 inches higher than this, and we want to know how many total inches that was. There are different ways of going about this problem, but since I know that 1 foot is 12 inches, I took 3 times 12 and got 36. And then 1/2 times 12, which equals 12/12, is 6. Or you could have even just thought of the fact that, well, I know that 1 foot is 12 inches, so 1/2 a foot is going to be half of that, which is 6. So we add these together, which is 42. So remember, or make sure that you understand that this 42 right here, that represents that 3.5 feet. That's how many inches. Then we need to add the 9 more to figure out how far he jumped, so that total is 51 inches. If you need to discuss, pause the video and then flip to the next page. And this again is where I really like that sorry, I don't have it right with me, where I like the picture that we have in our math notebooks. But I could have very well, as I did these quickly, made an error in that. So if so, discuss, but I think that visual is helpful. So, and then here, in order for me to determine which was bigger and which was smaller, I needed to make sure to put them into the same unit. So converting just helps us in order to answer real life, real world problems. And when you're ready, turn to the last page. And take a look at these, and I probably pause the video in order to read through the answers and notice, like here, my work is here for this problem. Here, this is the work for this problem. Did the work here for this one. I tried to separate them a little bit. And then, oh, letter M. I guess I haven't done that one yet. So, when you're ready, go ahead. If you need to press pause, do that. And then when you're ready, go ahead and move on down. Brooklyn is shipping 2 packages. One package weighs 3 pounds 5 ounces, and the other package weighs 2 pounds 8 ounces. How many ounces do the packages weigh together? So we need to think about, we need to convert this into ounces, right? So to do that, what do I need to do with my 3? If you said multiply by 16, you are correct, because each pound is 16 ounces. 16 times 3 is 48. And then I add the 5 ounces, giving me a total of 53. Then we have 2 times 16, which equals 32, plus 8 equals 40. I'm trying to stay clear of this space. So now I'm adding 53 plus 40. Gives us a total of 93 ounces. All right, so at this time, you are going to get into IXL, and you've been assigned 2 customary units of measurement assignments. You're going to work on that for some time, and then you're going to pause, and then you're going to move into line plots to discuss that, and then you'll have IXL to do. And then I've also listed what to do if you finish with all of your assignments. So make sure you're making some real progress this week, or today, I guess, just for Friday before we wrap up the week. And then have a great weekend. I will see you all on Monday.